Hello everybody and welcome back to another video of Heroes of the Storm. We are continuing our series on how to tank. We did, if I pull up the tier list, we did a Mal'Ganis game where we played as a defensive tank. We did an offensive tank with Diablo, and now we're going to show you a hybrid tank with Garrosh. Now, Garrosh is a hybrid tank because he can do both really good peels and really good engages or kill setups. Because of that, we put him in the hybrid. I think he plays mainly more offensively. And when do you want to draft this hero? Well, you want to draft this hero if the enemy team has auto attackers. He's very, very good against auto attackers because his Q range is typically right around the range of an auto attacker. So you can hit them with a Q, run up to them, and toss them behind you, and it destroys them. So auto attackers like Zul'jin, Tychus, he's actually pretty good against. Tychus does ignore his armor, but Tychus's range is so short, he's actually pretty good against them. I think that Tychus autos ignore his armor, but I'm not entirely sure. I heard that once. I never fact checked it. You also want to be picking him on small maps that you can rotate easily. And he's very good with allies who can follow up on his throws. You don't want to pick Garrosh if you have a team full of mages that you're going to be throwing targets into. But if you want to pick him as the peel tank, you could. So sometimes as Garrosh, you throw the wrong target into your backline and bad things happen. So you definitely want to have at least one other tanky hero with you. But yeah. Another thing is just with all of these tanks that we have pulled up is it's just personal preference with a lot of them. Some people would prefer to play Diablo in a matchup, while some would prefer to play Garrosh. They're pretty interchangeable, but Garrosh has more peels than Diablo. And later in the game can have some wave clear. So yeah, I'd say if you want wave clear, peels, and still want a single target lockdown, Garrosh is your tank. Alright, we're going to jump into the game and hopefully show you how to play him mechanically. Alright, and we find ourselves on the Alterac Pass today. Alterac Pass is a decent map for Garrosh. The nice thing about Garrosh is he's not super map dependent. You can play him on any map. He's just better on certain maps than others. With this series, I focus more on my gameplay than my talent picks. So I'll talk about the talent picks at the end. You can stick around to see those. But level 1, we are going to pick up Unrivaled Strength. There's a couple of options you can go there, but Unrivaled Strength is my typical pickup. And we're going to just take these fights with good timing. Because I was going to say slowly, but it's not really you take them slowly. You just attack at the right time, and you'll be a happy Garrosh with a happy team. So, for instance, we're going to hide in the bush. If Junkrat comes too close, we're mounted already. We're going to be able to do whatever we want to him. For instance here, coming in, try to peel for our Diablo a little bit. Oh, unfortunately, I messed up my ability there. That's unfortunate. You can see right there was a little bit of a peeling ability. But yeah, in these fights, we're kind of just looking for low health targets we can throw. I really messed up my one ability, which was quite sad. I do that often on Garrosh. It's I don't know what it is, but I press my buttons too fast, and it only registers like my Q. But that's the combo right there. It's a Q, or it's an E into your Q combo, which works out pretty well, especially against targets that are squishy and with your team to follow up. As Garrosh, we are surprisingly gankable, like right here. There we go. Nice kill. So we're able to throw the target and then stun them under our towers, which is wonderful. I believe they're also slowed after the stun, which is a really good tool that allows Garrosh to catch up to these targets. Not easily, I won't say. What a weenie. I should have just thrown the target on. Unrivaled Strength increases the damage of my throw, so we actually deal a decent bit of throw damage. And if she comes back here, I would consider throwing a minion at her. Could be a funny play. That's alright, we'll go ahead and rotate. Like I mentioned before, Garrosh loves rotations. He thrives for them. I was going to say, I kind of want to look for the Mei here, because I've seen her use her ability already. but unfortunately, kind of messed up my ability, but it still worked out in the end. We got a hero kill. So we're gonna go ahead and continue to rotate in on these enemies. But unfortunately, it looks like they're rotating in on us. We'll actually just chill in the bush and wait for the Nova to come through here. Whenever she comes through, we'll help out my allies, like such. And that should be a dead Nova. Very nice. Hunting for Junkrat now. Looks like he'll get out, but he might take a cheeky route here. And if he does, we'll kill him. We'll see. He's going to look for his camp then, which he can probably take easily. So we'll sit in this bush and wait for this guy. If Rainer's not careful, he will also die. I kind of want to engage on this camp, though. I don't think there's going to be many heroes here, and if there are... Ah, dang it. I was hoping there'd be at least one. Let's say if there were, I could always just throw them away and steal the camp. But we'll heal up off of these globes. One issue I have with Garrosh, especially with this build, is I run out of mana before I run out of health, typically. Not always. Throw that enemy away. We really do need our damage here, considering we got double tank again. Diablo was the last video that we made, and it was double tank. Friendly team looks like they're doing a really good job, though, of punishing these enemies. I'd be willing to throw my ally if he needs it, but he might also just engage silly here. Nicely done. Hopefully Jimmy's dead here. There we go. You can see using the power of our... using the power of our Q to slow the enemy and get that pick. Throw our Diablo in, so maybe he can pull her, but it doesn't look like he's quite able to. Hoping she'd reveal herself there. We can at least heal up off of her clone. And I don't know what level 20 I want, or level 7 I want. They do have some spell power. They also have some attack speed. They just have to get hit by it. Honestly, Into the Fray wouldn't be terrible with a Diablo 2. But I think Intimidation's going to be my pick here. We'll go ahead and hit the double stun and throw the enemies away from me. Because we captured the objective. There's no reason for me to stay. I'm probably going to die to the Nova if we're not too careful. But it looks like she chose Falstad instead. I'll take it, honestly. We'll watch this team fight with our mini-map. Just to see what's happening. And we'll even Sippy Cup here quickly. Doesn't look like any of them are low enough for me to rotate in there. Doesn't mean I don't think I could solo kill them. But if Tyrande stays, we might be able to get the kill. I can see our wave clear here. That's all of our wave clear for the next 16 seconds. So it does suck right now, but once we hit 20, we do actually get a lot better. Another reason to pick Garrosh is if the enemy team has a Tracer, Zeratul, Illidan, Garrosh is really good against them because he has a taunt ultimate ability. It holds an enemy in place, which is very, very strong for locking down those enemy units. Once again, gonna throw this enemy Rainer around. Do you think that kills him? Oh, no. He healed. If he didn't have heal, it might have. Or at least gotten him really low. But you can see, we're kind of bullying this guy. Once again, I'm messing up my abilities. I don't think it matters, though. Nice. If I landed my abilities correctly, they would have died faster. And then rotate. That's what we love to do as Garrosh. I'm going to wait a few seconds so I have my fun ability. Oh, I missed like a potato. That's okay. Heal up off of her clone. Pick up Decimate. Throw her. Unfortunately, not into my tower like I wanted. Barely missed it, and then she ended up body blocking me. Unfortunate. But as Garrosh, we're allowed to play at low HP because of our trait, which gives us armor. So, similar to Zul'jin, Garrosh likes playing at right around half HP. That's kind of his sweet spot, where he's not too squishy. He has just the right amount of tank, but he's also not so healthy that the enemy thinks that like they can't go anywhere near him. So he kind of baits them out. We'll give this guy a little motivational spray and continue on our way. We are level 10, and the enemy team is not, which means we should be looking for a fight, if possible at all. We're going to come in here. This guy should be dead. Throw him away. Heal up off of him a little bit, and continue on our way. So we have 25 armor. whenever we're at half HP, which is a surprising amount. Rainer's down there. Okay, there's 2 heroes up here in the top lane. We'll look for them. Gotta watch what these enemy heroes pick. There we go. And Nova is going to get absolutely massacred very quickly there. Throw our ally in, because maybe he can get in on the Kerosene, but Kerosene's too fast. No worries there. Typically, I save my Into the Fray as an escape for allies. That's typically how I use it, but I think every time I've used it thus far in this game, it's been offensively. Which is nothing wrong with using it offensively. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up a kill on the Kerosene here. Nice. I was hoping for a flip from Diablo, but he wasn't quite able to get it off. Stun this Mei, which is pretty big. She actually used her ice block at a pretty poor timing, but I think I might die to her if my allies don't react to me. They're not reacting to me. We're going to ping for assistance here. Please, Tyrande, please. Alright, this is fine. Everything's okay. Whew! Oh my god! That was so close. We did cap the objective here, and I'm willing to brawl. You know, at the HP I'm at, I have so much armor. As long as I don't get one shot, we'll be fine down here. Maybe should have waited for Thrall a little bit longer. Alright, we'll run away now, because I think Thrall can get the kill. I think so. Yeah, we're fine. We're going to go ahead and base now. I thought we capped the objective. I don't know why I thought that, but we definitely did not. Gonna go ahead, pick up Blood Crazed, which is a nice ability for us. This will allow us to have a little bit more heals off of our W, and our W's been kind of our saving grace a lot this game. Kind of just peeling the Junkrat off right now. That's all I feel comfortable doing. For right now, at least. We might be able to pick up the kill on him. There we go. We have such good chase as Garrosh, but it does cost us a lot of mana to do it. Hopefully we can stop this objective. I'm not quite certain we can. Especially with that enemy Rainer reviving and coming in on us now. Aw, what a weenie. Similar to Diablo, we can get kited pretty easily. But once we get up close to a target, we have them on lockdown, and then it's easy. Just make sure I get full mana, then I'll head out. Because once again, our health pool, because of our W's, it can be a little bit low, and we'll still do well. Kind of want to watch the minimap, see where this Nova goes, or even Junkrat. Rainer works. We'll be able to mess him up. Probably not with 2 enemies here, but we'll maybe be able to at least slow down their push. Yeah, we're slowing them down slightly. We also have Falstad coming in here, which is nice. He'll be able to help defend the building. Hopefully we keep the building here, but I'm not too certain we do. Unfortunate that Junkrat exists. Canceling his ability there with my R, or with my E, and trying to run away, but there was just too much damage from the enemy team. They had a nice rotation there with Rainer and the, what's this hero's name? Nova. But we defended mostly all of our buildings. This building might fall here shortly, but during that objective we lost very little, so that makes me happy. I'll take a death for that all day long. As the tank, he's one of the few heroes that dying is technically a part of your job. If you die but protected your squishies, if you die but save your building, if you die but got the objective, it's worth. Because as the tank, that's your main goal, is to die for your team. That's essentially what you're doing when you play tank. Gonna look for anything, making sure we have our peel capabilities here for our allies if they need it. Really nice ability there by our... Oh, go get him, Thrall. Nice ability by both of our heroes, honestly, by Thrall and by Falstad, dealing a really nice job of cleaning up that fight. And now we could go for boss with 2 enemies dead. Snowball is not available for them unless we don't take this boss in the next 20 seconds, but looks like we'll be fine with this. So we'll get this, start objective cap. But whenever you're inside of the fight, like in an actual traditional fight as Garrosh, you're looking for two things, right? Depending on how you want to play. I've been playing pretty aggressively, I'd say, where I'm looking for the flanks, looking for the picks, because against that enemy team, I can do that. I can be that bully. So that's one way you can play it, as the very aggressive, mean leader of the horde. Oh my gosh, I don't live this, do I? Oh no, we're fine. We got Mei to heal off of. Okay. Very nice. We want to be auto-attacking in these fights as well. But you can also play as a peel for your ally and then an engager. So peel first, then engage second. We're going to actually have to come in here and defend this. Same as all tanks. It sucks. Having to defend lanes is absolutely horrendous. We all hate doing it. But as the tank, if you have to, you have to. If that's what it's going to take for you to win the game, you got to do it. So, might just have to leave this camp like this. Throw that into my tower range. That'll help a little bit. Maybe get one more pick off. One more kill on the null camp. But I think that's all that I can do for it right now. Friendly team are handling this fight very well, but they're getting a little bit low. We've been unable to capture the objective, so I need to help them out somewhat in some way possible. Looks like the building will be fine. We've defended it enough for it to be fine. And maybe pick up a... Yeah, with that help from the ally, big pickup there on the Nova. With Decimate, if we have Decimate up, we're going to be able to pick off that Nova pretty consistently. Kind of waiting for this wave to crash so I can come in with a flank and look for the Junkrat, who I'm hoping is going to be right here, but he might not be. Looks like he's on his camp instead, which is fine by me. That means that we will come in here then and take a little bit of soak, as well as a regen globe. Getting 20 would be very nice. I don't think we'll get it in time, even if I soak that wave, in time for this objective fight. So we're just going to try to stall the fight out. Starting to get stuff done there on the Mei, and she did get stunned out of her dash, which is very good for us. Able to pick up the kill, get 20 off of this minion wave, and hopefully continue to snowball this game. Deadly Calm, level 20, is one of the biggest talents in the game, like, period. It's so good, and it's truthfully one of the only reasons that I pick Decimate. Gonna go ahead and make sure we throw this guy into our minion wave. He's gonna use his... Yeah, I don't know what that ability is called. It's not coming to my mind. I think we're fine. Oh no, he has more movement speed than I. Oh, if I could have gotten to the bush, I could have turned around and pressed my W. But we couldn't get to the bush in time. Once again, though, we're getting good push here. So it's not the end of the world. Oh, nice blink. Falstad's getting good push. We'll probably get the top lane, to be completely honest. They'll defend mid and bottom just fine, but maybe get top lane. Unfortunate that Mei did revive, and she is now defending her building. But it's not looking bad for us. Whenever I revive, we could look for boss because we're level 20. But the enemy team, by the time I revive, they might be 20 as well, so it's a little bit scary. But Deadly Calm, it reduces the enemy team's damage by 40% for 3 seconds when they're hit by your Decimate. That comboed with the fact you have armor, it essentially means that their attacks are healing you. Friendly team's starting the boss, but I'm not there, so I'm going to go ahead and ping it and warn them. We also don't have these allies, and Mei... She used Snowball. She used Snowball right here, so we'll be fine. Or Avalanche. It's called Avalanche. I call it Snowball, but it's technically called Avalanche. And Avalanche is an ability used to steal the boss. Doesn't look like the enemy team's reacting to it, but Nova or Junkrat could be sitting in that bush. Junkrat will get a nice double kill, but we got the boss, so it's not the end of the world. I'll hopefully be able to pick up a kill on the Junkrat, though, to make him pay for his sins. If not me, then at least the Thrall, who we can help support in any type way. Ah! Oh no, he lives! What a shame. Oh, he died mid-air. This is horrible news. I mean, our boss is pushing, but I don't think I live this. Yeah, nice boop by the enemy Mei. Tower shot's gonna hurt, and with the Nova here too. Aw, we almost got our W up in time. Wasn't quite able to. They have too many slows. And our whole team comp really lacks wave clear. That's one thing I'm looking at now for the first time, is we really lack wave clear. So I think I need to shift a little bit more into wave clear for the team. I've been playing kind of silly the last 2 fights, so I got to play a little bit more defensively. Boss got nothing done, unfortunately. Whenever I saw this pick, I should have just let the Junkrat go. I knew that the enemy team was coming, but I didn't think they'd get there that fast. That's okay, though. We'll lose the first 30 seconds to this objective while Thrall and I revive. I honestly should have died sooner, like tactical feed, to get here faster. And in this fight, we're going to go ahead and press tab, and we're going to find who's top damage. Top damage is the Nova. We wrecked Nova. We just got to find the Nova and kill her now. Let's go take a look at her build, too. So she's a snipe build, which means she doesn't have a whole lot of defensive tools to kite us. Unfortunately, though, if the friendly team loses the fight before I get there, there's nothing that I can do about that. So we might just have to engage this fight traditionally. Diablo with a big APOC, though. We might be able to get in here on the Mei, but unfortunately getting stunned out is no good for me, and I need to run again. Oh, I hate having to run like this. That's fine, though. We didn't die, so we'll take it. I was hoping to get to this camp in time. We could tap right now, but I don't think tapping does anything for us. Once again, we're going to check. Nova still top damage. Junkrat dealt a lot of damage that fight as well, though. Gonna come in here, try to defend our top lane to the best of our ability, and maybe it might be worth it to hide in this bush, too. That's what we're going to do. We're going to hide in this bush and watch as the Nova comes along for our Falstad. Okay, we saw Nova right here on the minimap. So she's got to be right in here somewhere. Maybe. We're just going to keep an eye out for the Nova. She's coming. Where's she at? Alright, got to come in here, though, and try to get my ally out. We'll actually stun these enemies just a little bit. But unfortunately, we will get blown to smithereens as the whole enemy team was sitting in that bush. Oh, it angers me. I knew that this guy was... I got baited. I should have just pressed 1. The second I saw him use his R, I was like, well, maybe we can get a pick now. But I knew I should have just retreated. Yeah, very bad timing on my last 3 deaths. I've been effectively useless for the last 3 minutes because I've been dead the whole time. So, I will say that is one thing about Garrosh. Similarly to Diablo, and similar to most offensive tanks, if I pull it up here again, the offensive tanks tend to fall off the later the game goes. They are meant to be a early game bully that helps snowball your team into the late game. Whereas the defensive tanks are meant to be a steady defensive foundation that will help. Hold on, let me just type wait 4 5. Whoop, 5. But a defensive tank is that steady foundation that helps get your team to the late game. So you pick defensive tanks with Nazibos and Asmodans, heroes that need to get to the late game. And you pick offensive tanks for... Oh, what's that called? For early game snowball. As I mentioned, though, you can play Garrosh multiple ways. I really want to get out here on the Nova. That's the real one right here. And there's a big pick for us. Kind of want more. Kind of want to get the Junkrat too if we can. I think he's going to go mid. But the enemy team's just been so well grouped that I don't think we'll be able to get the pick by ourselves. We have 10 kills. I'm just now realizing that. That's kind of cool. Hopefully we can defend this building. If we can defend this building, I'll be happy. We're also not using many spells because I want to be conserving my mana. And yeah, we were able to defend the building, no problemo. Wasn't looking at my mini-map, so I don't know if any enemies are up top at the boss. But we want to be taking this fight early because Nova is dead, and Nova's their top damage. So yeah, this fight, I love it. Let's take it. Hopefully get a nice pick out there on the on the enemy Karazim. There we go. And now looking for the Junkrat too. Trying to slow him in time. It wasn't quite... Well, I got the slow off, but I couldn't get any more than that. Maybe hit the stun. It's massive. Let's go. Max range on all my abilities there to help get, yet again, another pick. We're going to take the nice long flank to find the Rainer if he's looking for this objective fight. Doesn't look like he is. So I'm actually going to hide in the bush and wait for the Nova now. As Nova or Rainer, one of them, I'm sure they won't be able to resist the urge. They'll come for this fight, and I will kill them. Or Rainer's hiding right here, taunting on us right now, laughing. But there's not much else for us to do on that map. We have decent stacks of mana, or amounts of mana, so we shouldn't be looking for globes. Waves are pushed out in our favor. We got people on this objective. Nova is not bribed, so you don't got to be worried about the camp. They're just playing it safe, waiting for the team to revive, which is a fine play. Be nice to look for that pick, but not with the enemy team all about to revive. We almost have this objective capped as well, so I don't want to throw the game. And I don't really want to go there. Now with all of these enemies up, might be time to start thinking about retreating. We got the objective capsule. Push this lane out one last time. Or at least soak up the experience. And then regroup with the friendly team. This late in the game, when you're playing any tank, you want to be the kind of leader of the group. Whenever you're playing ranged assassins, you want to be looking at where your tank's going most of the time, because he's the one that's going to be able to protect you as well as initiate fights for you. We'll come in with a nice long flank here. Hopefully get one enemy hero. I reduced his damage. I don't know if that actually persists through the 7-sided strike. It would be cool if it did, though. But I think it's percent damage, so you can't really block percent damage. Hit Rainer. Oh, I was hoping to hit Rainer there with a nice Q, but we weren't quite able to. And objectives are all crashing in, but the enemy team has such good ability defense, or map defense in general, that we're just getting little chips done to these buildings. But I think we'll finally be able to take one of them down. Two of them, actually. And that's all of the buildings killed for the enemy team. Trying to chase down the enemy team's Junkrat, and now this core is dropping super fast. We'll throw our ally, and that's the game. We did it. I had a very rough mid to late game there, but we pulled it out for the very end, and we're able to finish it. That wasn't the best showcase of Garrosh, just due to the fact that I wasn't the only tank. Hey, let's go, avenged. But that's kind of how I play Garrosh, is we're looking for the backline. We're constantly hunting. You mount up so you can move faster. You get on that backline and you throw them into your friendly team, or you isolate them, and you can actually, as you saw there, I was able to 1v1 every single one of those enemies. Junkrat, 1v1, easy win. Rainer, same thing. Nova, especially after 10. Karazim, he had a case for beating me. He might have been able to beat me if he fought long enough, but I don't know. We're pretty dang good in the 1v1s. So that was definitely more the offensive side of Garrosh, but he does have the defensive side where your ally gets engaged upon, you into the fray, so your ally's safe. Diablo's charging your backline, you throw him away with your E. Or you throw him even deeper, now he's really out of position. But yeah, the talents we went into this video, this is the build I go in almost all my games as Garrosh. Unrivaled Strength at level 1. This allows me to throw the enemies further and increases the damage of our E. Thirst for Blood at level 4. Our basic attacks reduce the cooldown of our W. This is a huge power spike for Garrosh. A very strong ability, but it does suck up a lot of mana. Intimidation at 7. Garrosh's level 7 is one of the best level 7 tiers. It's very similar to Blaze, where if you want to pick abilities that counter auto attackers, you pick this one. If you want to counter spell damage, you pick the I think it's called Oppressor, which empowers your W. So basically, we hit an enemy hero with our Groundbreaker. Doesn't have to stun them. They just have to get hit by it, and it reduces their attack speed by 30% for 4 seconds. Then Decimate at level 10, which just slows enemies as well as deals a small amount of damage. Helps with the wave clear a little bit. Then at level 13, but also helps with the chase down. At 13, we go for Blood Craze, so we now heal for 15% of our maximum HP over 3 seconds, which combos very nicely with our level 4 and our level 16, which is Seasoned Soldier. We gain 5% maximum health and increase Groundbreaker's slow duration by 1 second, as well as gain a second charge of our W. So we have 2 Ws to be spamming out on these enemies. W does a decent amount of damage. You can typically get 3 W's off in a fairly quick amount of time if you're auto attack weaving, as well as pressing your R to weave it in. And then I talked about it earlier, but Deadly Calm, fantastic ability, especially against a more traditional enemy team where they have a bruiser, tank, mage, auto attacker, and healer. The fights are a little bit more grouped then, and so you won't be able to get the picks you want like I could in this game, but you'll be able to reduce their damage and help your team win these fights that way. So yeah, that was Garrosh. The fluctuation points at level 1, you can go body check if you want. But it's a little bit of a hard ability to use. You use this if the enemy team has like double healer. That's the only real time that I pick it. Unrivaled Strength is just typically the best. And there's a case for Warbreaker if you're a god at landing your Qs, and you're also definitely going Intimidation. But other than that, I don't typically pick it up. Level 7 is another fluctuation point. Oppressor, as I mentioned before, is really, really good. And Loktar Ogar is good some of the time. Other than that, that's the standard build that I go for Garrosh. I hope you guys enjoyed this hybrid tank that we were able to play, showcase him. He plays very similar to an offensive tank, but he has things that the offensive tank don't, which is pretty good peels if he needs it, as well as halfway decent wave clear. So, yep, that was Garrosh. Hope you enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one.